Hello, everyone, and welcome to this panel discussion on building a strong product culture in an engineering organization. I'm Velimir Bulatovic, and I will be your host today. I'm product manager with special interest in rapid prototyping, business analysis, and product growth. I'm glad to have with us today a diverse group of experts in the field, including Milena Bogavac, Head of Product Innovation Office at HTEC Group, Anna Pegan, founder of Serbian Product Community and Principal Product Manager, Srđan Prokic, Head of eCommerce at AirSerbia, and Oggy Skobo, founder and CEO at Kroon Studio. Oggy, please correct me if I didn't pronounce it correctly.
Kroon.
Okay. Our goal today is to share some insights and perspectives on fostering a culture that prioritizes customer needs and empower product people and engineers to drive product development together. During this session, you can write your questions in the chat below somewhere. So I will read some of the questions at the end, and we will reply some of them. And before we start, I just want to share with you that in my previous organization, we called Thursday like a Little Friday, because it's one day from a weekend, tomorrow is a Friday, and Friday is a day without meetings. So happy Little Friday to everyone. Milena, good morning.
Hey everyone, good morning.
As you know, we are a strong engineering organization, and product competency is something that this organization has been adopting and developing over last 2 years. And in the past, we had a lot of engagement in engineering at scale models, let's say like that, with our clients, and we developed the most sophisticated engineering services in the world. As a result, today, our engineering services are a perfect fit for organizations on an enterprise level with a high level of maturity regarding business, sales, operation, and but when it comes to brand new products, product conceptualization, validation, go-to-market, and stuff like that, what do you think? Do this evolved, sophisticated engineering services support the product development process or making it harder for product people?
Yeah, so when it comes to our services and what HTEC does, HTEC is at heart really strong engineering culture. But lately we're really building, and that build happened organically. It was a natural flow from the situation where we need one person to really empathize with customers, to take the ownership, and be there for the whole engineering team to support the whole process of building the digital products. And then from one project, these needs evolved to the state where we are today, where we can proudly say, okay, we are building digital products. We are being like serious partners that can support them and grasp their strategy and vision really wholeheartedly and be there for them entirely on their journey. So when it comes to how we collaborate together and what's that bringing to this organization, I think it's like that math is 1 + 1 is 3. It's not really, it's a synergy. And lately I read, I hear about like, is this organization product led or engineering led? It's about synergy, really. It's how we collaborate together and how we bring synergy together. The paradigm that was previously typically adopted is like, okay, let's build something, fail fast, learn, get some learning from that, and then iterate. Lately, and this is a really logical question, like why do we fail? Why do we fail so much? Why digital products fail? So answer to that question is like, are we building something that customers, so clients, users need? So if we really deeply understand what customers' expectations are and what component of viability for business this efforts bring, we will fail less. We'll de-risk what we actually decide that should be built, and of course iterate and build again, and evolve products based on that. So yeah, my thought is, and my 2 cents is that I think we are really going forward. We're trying to build synergy and to come back to that really motto of HTEC is like, we are building digital products together.
Great, thank you. Thank you for your answer. Srđan, you are an experienced leader with a deep understanding on how to translate business needs to the product, or how to position innovation as a service of business growth. How does this perspective or your business and extensive financial background help convince senior decision makers to give you open hands to build and innovate services on your platform? Or to be more specific, can you share with us a process a corporation goes through when searching for a product partner, whether a product studio or an enterprise organization? What were the challenges you faced, and what did you learn from that process and from that collaboration?
Thanks, Velimir, for the question. Good morning, everyone. So look, one of the biggest problems that we faced at the beginning is that, in product management, we often have to make these decisions, build versus buy. And in corporations, it's usually to buy off-the-shelf solution, because it's thinking that we are not here to build digital products. We are here to do our core business, and this is the operating planes in our case. So this kind of thinking removes a risk for corporation who is not experienced in building products. And it's fine sometimes, it's a good approach, but when you're building a B2C product, which is e-commerce product that we were building, it's a mobile application, it's not good because you can't differentiate from your competitors. They're all using the similar or the same solutions. The capabilities to customize these solutions are really low. So basically the key is selecting the right project or the product that you will start working on, and this is what our leadership understood and supported to partner with one engineering company to co-develop mobile application. We wanted to test waters with something that is small. It was a greenfield project, so the revenue at risk was literally zero, but we had high expectations and the opportunity was really high. So what we understood is actually that we can't really form a full-blown product team in-house, because hiring talent and keeping talent is really hard, and it's much harder for corporations than for mature product organizations like HTEC. So we decided to look for a design partner. We created basically a business case that is based on ROI. We knew from analytics where we need to improve in the booking funnel, where we need to improve conversion rate, and how it will affect average order value, what will be the return on investment if we design and develop this application better. But when I say design, it's not just like how it looks and feels, it's also how it works. So we created one tender where we invited several design agencies, UX agencies. We created two well-defined but relatively small tasks when we wanted to see concrete solutions, and we got several. But what was great about the Kroon is actually that these guys not only showed us their solutions, but they showed us the whole process. So they did one design sprint in 1 week and created a lot of crazy ideas. They prototyped them, they tested, and then iterated. So we actually understood that this is what we need to develop a cool product, to create all these artifacts personas, customer journeys, that we really couldn't do it by ourselves, simply because we didn't have experience in that. So yeah, that's a short story how we decided to test this water and found out Kroon.
Okay, thank you, Srđan. And Oggy, good morning. You are a founder of a product studio, and I read somewhere that people in Kroon don't hate Mondays. Personally, I'd like to know what is your secret. But before that, you worked with Srđan and got some innovation to AirSerbia ecosystem, and that was a challenging task to do for sure. So my question is, how do you create product services at your studio? How did you decide which services would distinguish your studio from others? And how did you choose the services to showcase on your website that would appeal to a wide range of clients, from startups to more giant corporations such as AirSerbia?
Yeah. Good morning, everyone, from me too. So we go by that we are product development studio, and so like our service mantra is like build right things right. So, and I think that's actually what connects all of the landscape, clientele landscape. Like if you're a startup, scale up, enterprise, I think at the end of the day, everybody is looking into understanding what they should be building, and to build it in the most feasible way. And that's actually something that connects the entire landscape. So, and at the end of the day, it's all about like how much are you willing to trust the process, right? So versus like building from, I don't know, maybe your own assumptions. What we implemented within our process is we took the design thinking methodology and pretty much adopted it to fit our own needs. And what's good about it is that it really depends on what kind of data do you have, what kind of information can you share, how well can you help your vendor or partner to empathize with your business, with your customers, with your analytics, with any data that you might have. So that we can fully grasp what is the context of the problem, and so that we can, so because for any given problem, there are many solutions, right? So first of all, we need to discover, how they say, like, problems worth solving. So that is I think what Milena said about like why are we failing so much, and I think it's about like building probably from assumptions and not really understanding like what is the key problem that we need to solve and in which order. And once we define that, then we are able to offer different solutions, right? And sometimes solution might be a heavy engineering solution, or they might not even be there. Like they could be a marketing solution, or could be a value proposition pivot, or whatever it may be. So what connects, like to get back to your question, like what really connects like startup, scale ups, enterprise, whoever is they do everybody wants to build the right thing. They want to build it as soon as possible to at least possible cost, right? So I think that the process we have is really allows that whatever stage or state your company is or your product is, given the amount of information you have about your users, about your customers, about the market, you are able to enter at different stages and go and stay in those stages for a longer or shorter period of time, depending on what kind of information you have. So that at the end of the day, we are able to produce something that really minimizes the risks of building something that users will not use or that does not contribute to the goal.
Great, thank you for your answer. I have another question later for you related to that. So, Anna, good morning. Thank you for joining us today. I know it's early and that you are super busy, so thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Your background is very interesting. You have a lot of experience in product organizations. You worked with many different teams and product leaders. And I learned a lot from you in the past few months. I think there were 3 or maybe 4 coffees, but still every time we met, I was surprised by your experience and knowledge, but also your point of view on product in general. And that's why you are here today with us. And thank you once again for being
Thank
here.
you for the kind words.
My question is, can you tell us from your experience what's wrong with product teams in Serbia, and are
And
they
how to fix it.
are they traditionally composed and led by engineering members and leaders, or are they now more cross-functional and focus on understanding client needs and business cases?
Yeah, but before I answer that, I kind of want to take a step back, if you don't mind, just quickly to kind of just take a look at our market and kind of where we came from, so to speak. So initially, our IT market, when it started growing, it was an engineering led. So we were offering services of software development. So there were a lot of companies that were really outsourcing software development as a service to others. And then how the market grew is actually first in capacity. So just expanding on the number of engineers that are available, but that kind of hit the wall, right? So then they expanded in the quality of the service. So they added several roles that contributed to that. So first QAs, just from the perspective of quality of code, then project managers, quality of organization, kind of being efficient about delivery. So it was all about delivery. And that, again, kind of hit the wall in terms of scaling the revenue, right? Because you can only up your prices so far to be competitive on the market. So instead of that, you now have to offer something more specific. So what's happening, and we kind of witnessed this firsthand, right? And HTEC is doing this as well. Either companies are really doubling down on engineering and kind of creating the capacity for delivery, or they're going into some specific areas, either with technologies they're using, they're becoming specialist in something. And we're seeing this in growth of blockchain in Serbia, right, for instance. And then, or they're kind of going into a different direction, which is developing their own products. Why is that? Because within the same capacity for delivery, depending on the product and domain it's in, depending on the market you're actually selling and the segment you're selling, the price for the same effort, so for the same cost, could really vary. So you can scale your revenue and your profit in terms of keeping the same cost, but just placing your product, creating your product for different markets and different segments. And that's kind of where we are at in this moment in our market. So in terms of the teams, yeah, we have all the knowledge in that sense of different domain knowledge. So we have multifunctional teams. That's really nothing new for us. The difference becomes now in mind shift and in different skills that we need to develop in our development teams, but product development teams, right? It's no longer software development. Now we're looking into product development. And what's lacking is really that the whole team needs to understand the customers and their needs, the market, and kind of where the ecosystem where we're living and developing and kind of making our business, right? And why is that? So that the team can actually be what we like to call empowered teams. It's a buzzword, I know, but what's behind that really is that a team has enough knowledge and enough information about our business and what we're doing and what we're trying to develop and what we're trying to solve for our customers, is that they can make decisions on their own. And if they can make decisions on their own in terms of how we're going to develop something, so is it going to be on the right level of performance for our customers, for their use cases, for their business? Is it going to be sustainable over time so that it doesn't crash when we start to scale, right? Is it going to be easy to maintain, or are the costs of maintenance going to go up? So these are all the different aspects that a product development team needs to take care of. And I'm going to just piggyback on what Oggy was saying. So first part is, of course, the part about understanding your customer's problem and all of that. But there's also a second part, which is specifically in product development teams. And that is, how does this product live a long life, right? And how do we optimize costs over time that we can actually scale that revenue, scale the number of users, and scale eventually even organization, you know, that kind of goes hand in hand with the architecture as well. So all of these different aspects and kind of thinking from that perspective, that's what we're learning now. And it's going to take us some time to get there, but it's good that we're seeing shifts and that we're seeing the increase of companies that are actually going into product development.
Great.
I don't know if I answered your question, but
yes,
let me know.
Mostly. for your answer. I have another one for Srđan. From your experience, what are some effective strategies for educating corporate leaders on product development and building a product-focused culture in an organization that primarily doesn't creates digital products?
Thanks, Velimir. That is a great question. So basically, the key is to help the leaders and the other stakeholders that are taking part in this product creation is to trust the process, because the process is not fast. You can't get results like, you know, in 1 month. And like, you know, there are several techniques how you can do it in corporations. So, for example, like Oggy said, we had a lot of information, data analytics, feedback from customers, from colleagues in contact centers, some interviews that we did. But, you know, you can't just present engineers and other stakeholders with some PowerPoint with 70 pages, like, you know, user research. This is, they don't have time to deal with it. So basically, what can help us is to systemize this data, to create personas and customer journeys that are just like, you know, a few pages long. And it helped us to then run workshops internally where we brainstormed, and it helped everyone to prepare. And actually we could get our back then general manager of commercial and actually our CEO to some of these workshops with like, you know, helped a lot to basically get support from other stakeholders. So like, you know, having these design artifacts can help you to communicate what we are trying to solve, where are the friction points, what are the opportunities that maybe we can, like, you know, build into our product and differentiate from other competitors. Like, you know, after that, we created mood boards, we created clickable prototypes in Figma that we used to test with users. We also shared all this with stakeholders. So when this first time started playing with clickable prototypes in Figma, like, you know, it was great. They could feel like, you know, how will this app work, and like, you know, that was great. But there was actually one interesting thing that we realized when we were presenting this to our colleagues in finance, who are very important stakeholders. They need to support us with the budgets and everything. And they were also very interested in these projects, how it's working and everything. And we realized that actually this is very different than all other design services that we used so far. So for example, you use design services for a marketing campaign, but it can help you to earn a lot of money, but it's very short-lived. So this is a cost for the company, and this is something that will decrease your profits. But actually what we did here, and design is just an artifact of product discovery and development, is that we created something that will help company to earn more money, to better conversion rates, average order value, better loyalty of our customers in several years. It also helped us basically to get some know-how in companies. So if we decide to build internal capabilities and to do development, we can do that because we have a very well documented design system. It also helps us to be more efficient and to design better and faster, because we are using that to design system to design new website and, you know, many other applications. So we realize actually that this is an asset and this is an investment the company is making. And what does it mean financially is that actually it will increase the value on the company because it's asset on the balance sheet. On the other hand, it will increase the profitability of the company because it's capitalized over a few years as expense. And, you know, this is something that is really good and very important for corporations. and it helped us to basically get a lot of support to basically continue down this road with the product development, and to eventually, we hopefully to start doing it ourselves in-house.
Great, that's a good point of view. Thank you for sharing that. Milena, based on your experience designing new product services, do you believe the market and our clients are ready for some, let's call it, next generation product services?
Yeah, so based on the experience and the latest trends, these things are really led by also industry trends. I think that the market is ready. It couldn't be ready more, and we are ready as well. We did some really hard work lately on shaping productized services, so that these things are not only based on nice pitch decks and things like, okay, we are following this and that methodology, but like rooted in some use cases, reflecting on the work that we've done previously in collaboration with our partners, and then putting all these things together is what defines a service, like a productized service. And service offering of HTEC can be, in very simple put, is focused on how we discover and how we plan what will be built as a digital product. So services are focusing on, okay, ideation and MVP. Okay, that big buzzword MVP. What is going to be that first version of the product that will see the light of the day, and that following that journey, and also services that are helping businesses scale, grow, evolve over time. So I would say, like, we've shaped the offering in these two groups, and ultimately the success of our customers is what is important for us, because that brings value to them, and that feeds back to a long relationship, long and healthy relationship with the client.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Oggy, I know you love experiments and no-code platforms and everything that can support you to innovate faster. So in that manner, how do ChatGPT and other technologies developed by OpenAI impact the user experience? Or could incorporating ChatGPT into new products lead to the development of brand new approaches in user experience design? What do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
We're all gonna lose our jobs. Well, yeah, I mean, like, it's super interesting. Like, there's two things. Like, when you say incorporating, I'm not sure what you refer to, but I'm seeing a lot of like, now people are pushing interfaces for ChatGPT. These interfaces and products, wherever they're building on top of it, are quite interesting, and we'll see where it goes. Like, some of them are just interesting, some of them actually have some value, so it's interesting. But like, talking about like how it's going to impact user experience and product design, I think that it's still far away from like being to an extent where you will be able to ask a question and it will, like, the other day I tried, like, I took two products from the same industry, super high competitors, and I asked, like, can you list what one has or the other? Like, can you list? I tried different approaches to see like whether it give me like a competitor analysis. It couldn't. So I think we're still far away from like where we'll be able to just post a question and it will give us, like, I don't know, competitor landscape or market data or whatever. but it's definitely like a helpful tool, like just like, I don't know, you would Google something. What can I see maybe be more utilized is, again, like maybe UX patterns or something like that, because, you know, if it has a lot of data about like what kind of flows are working and converting better versus other ones, that could be an opportunity maybe to use it. But again, each product, each business is super unique. So you definitely still need your creativity and creativity of the team to make sure like that you adopt the technology to the particular needs, goals, and problems you're solving. We'll see, I think, like, I don't know, like we'll see with the new versions keep coming up and more competition coming up where it's gonna go. But I think it's a helpful tool. How much help? I think maybe engineering side is more interesting right now with this Copilot and whatever, writing code, and, you know, like it saves time, so you don't have to like write the actual code. On the product side of things, I still think it's far away to be like that powerful. But, you know, we'll see. Nobody knows where, you know. Sure, maybe we'll all lose our jobs.
Yeah.
May I jump in with a comment?
Sure.
It's a really interesting topic, and yeah, attracts a lot of attention lately. And this vibe is that the digital companies, and employees are in danger. Actually, I read that analogy that is really describing what it is and how, in simple terms, we should look at it. We are building a hammer to help us do our work. And this is what it is. Actually, it is helping us perform our work better, and then our attention to some other important focus areas will increase, so that our jobs and what we do is evolving over time. So I don't really see that. Especially in the context of this panel, like we are empathizing with the customers, and that empathy and also alignment with stakeholders, viability of business, all that aspects that are taken into account cannot be really just simply subsidized. Yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Writing copies and release notes. It could
fantastic helper, yeah. As Oggy said, yeah, it's really a powerful tool to help us even perform better of what we are doing.
Great, thank you. There is one quote from Henry Ford. Just a second, I have it here. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. So we don't have old product managers or old product leaders in Serbia, so I guess they are all still.
Give us time.
My question for you, Anna, is where product managers, designers, and product leaders are currently being educated, and what is your perspective on the future of product education and coaching?
Yeah, so that's kind of a touchy subject in our product community, because there are no local resources of any kind. And that's kind of how the product community started in the first place. We gathered so that we can learn from each other, right? So everybody's getting educated abroad. So whether it's, I don't know, product school, Mind the Product, those were the 2 first kind of that became global, along with the Silicon Valley group. Then nowadays there are a couple of that are sort of popular. That's I don't know, Product Faculty or Reforge. They're really kind of blooming. Those are all the programs that are out there. So it's not kind of one course, couple of hours, and that's it. It's really multiple day programs that stretch over a couple of weeks that offer you hands-on experience with the project that you work on, and kind of go out from that training with something specific in your hands. So there's nothing similar anywhere in the region. And what we're actually trying to build now, and this is just the beginning, hopefully it will kind of grow from there. We're trying to build our own knowledge base within the community. So we're creating a couple of trainings that we're going to be placing starting from March and April. And hopefully that will kind of start the whole education process and make it a bit easier, because it will be from our people to our people. So first in local language, which is the difference. To be honest, I don't know how to talk about product management in Serbian. I really don't have words. So that sounds really ridiculous. And the first kind of indicator if a specific topic is really adopted within the region is whether it has their own kind of terminology. Engineers don't use Serbian words, but there are Serbian words for that. So that's kind of where we want to be, right? But we're at the very beginning. So that's kind of where we want to see how the things progress, what the companies will be interested in, kind of where the needs are, where can we actually help and support them.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. All. I will jump to some questions from the audience now. I will read some of them. We have one, it's not a question, it's just a big hug for Oggy, long time no see. And another question is, do you have any suggestion on how to teach people empathy? Maybe share an example where empathy was crucial for building stronger client relationship. Who would like to
Yeah, I can take that if you'd like.
Yes, please.
So when we say empathy, what is that actually? It's really kind of putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. It's not feeling the emotions, but rather being in the same context, in the same situation as they are, and kind of feeling the pains and problems that they do. So that's really nothing new. I mean, business analysis is rather an old domain in terms of IT. And one of the first things that you learn is how you gather requirements. And one of the techniques is to empathize. So you have different methods how you can do that. You can kind of follow somebody around. You can take their place for a day, right? You can actually simulate things that they do in a different setup. So you can actually exercise in the way that you are trying to place yourselves in a situation that your customers are in, trying to imagine what they need to do and how potentially they could do it or they are doing it, so that you feel what the pains and the problems that they are. So it's really something that you kind of work on over time. It's not like you take a book and you read it and you learn it, right? You have to experience it, but the experiential learning is the key for that.
Sure.
And I would also add, it's a very interesting topic. I think I would also add that it's not like you learned one time and then you are producing, like you are always welcomed and allowed to return to that empathy phase upon new discoveries, right? So because when you learn something at the beginning and you try, like maybe you proved certain hypotheses or you have some, like you have more data than you had at the beginning and you start building on top of them, there might be new stuff coming up that you need to also check, make sure that they are right. And that's why like it's a constant like loop where you are absolutely, and we always like say like it's not like a linear phase where you go from okay, now I finished this, now I finished it. Like you're always encouraged basically to go back to the empathize phase and make sure that you truly understand like what is happening. And that is only like that's how you actually gain the ability to discover like what is actually worth building, what is actually worth solving, and how.
So yeah, if I can jump in just shortly, basically, all great stuff. So how we actually approach this and did it is that in our mobile app, we have built a feedback tool and also installed something on the website and all the team members in-house that are working on the product development, they have to read through these emails and basically to help customers solve some problems. So some problems are for the call center and we distribute this, but this basically really helps us to get in the customer's shoes and continuously to keep getting some feedback also about improvements, but things that are not working, that are not very clear to them.
But also you need approval from finance stakeholders, Oggy. So
no. For this one, actually, we didn't. Actually, this was very simple to develop, and to install, and relatively cheap. Luckily, or we wouldn't do it.
Finally, 2 cents from my end. Research as expertise is boosting efforts and really helping empathize with customers in, so to speak, scientifically proven ways and methods.
Sure. Okay. Thank you for your answers, and we can grab another one. It's from our Irena. How do you practically utilize user research in your product work? We already know HTEC is building a strong research informed culture. So the question is, what is the function of user research in your product work? Yeah,
I mean, I can start, but I'm gonna give somebody else a chance.
Yeah, Oggy, please. You can.
So what we did internally is that we actually developed our own knowledge base, whatever, where we have defined a lot of research tools that we are able to reach out to in different types of situations. So these tools, when I say tools, these are number of frameworks or research methodologies, whatever, where you will be able to get the data. I don't know, a day in life, crazy eights. There's a bunch of them, where we actually take them, adopt them. Now, the point is, when you are doing research, you're doing research for certain reasons. You're looking to find out something, right? And so, depending on what kind of tools you use to get information, you will be able to give or get better context, understanding the problem, and be able to address it. I don't know, when Corona started, this is an interesting, for example, when Corona started, one of our biggest clients is ABC Financial. They are a finance and personal training application, huge customer base owned by Thoma Bravo, etc. But when Corona started, we saw metrics falling, daily usage was dropping, etc. So we were okay, what do we do? And then we reached out to those tools, and then we realized people are canceling their memberships because they're at home. They don't have workouts. They're not going to gym. They don't have tools to work out, etc. So we realized a solution, when we did this research, why is this happening? A simple solution was, okay, let's create videos for home workouts, right? So it wasn't even an engineering solution. It was a content solution. And I think that's the power of doing on versus okay, trying to figure out what is happening from our own assumptions, from our own perspectives. We again trusted the process. We went into the customer interviews. We started calling customers. We reached out to people to say, hey, what is happening, so that and then we realized, okay, people are not exercising because they don't have the equipment at home. Okay, so now let's help these trainers keep their businesses, keep their personal training businesses by just providing a huge library of home workouts. And then we saw again, the line started growing. And I think that's how you practically execute research and then implement it as a solution.
Great story. Thank you, Oggy. And we are running out of time, so I guess we can maybe answer just another one. Is there any strategy on how HTEC will be distinguished from other companies in the product world? since we recently started to be more visible / active in this field. I guess this.
That one is for me. Okay, yeah. So in HTEC, we are positioning ourselves as end-to-end service provider. So that's the core of the positioning and strengths are relying on synergy and on end-to-end offering. So to emphasize once again, our services are rooted and tightly connected with engineering services. Therefore, we are saying to our customers with that service offering, okay, let's help you explore your vision or establish the strategy, how this product will evolve over time, but we will continue actually being there and executing on that strategy efficiently. So that's our position on the market.
Thank you, Milena. Okay, that's will be all from the questions. So I would like to take a moment to express gratitude to having you today, Milena, Oggy, Srđan, and Anna. Thank you. It was a pleasure. And also, I would like to thanks to audience for joining and for all the questions and comments. And for the end, I would like to share that it's important to remind ourselves that strong product culture is the foundation of successful and sustainable product development. So with that in mind, happy
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that, yeah.
Happy Little Friday for everyone. Enjoy the weekend, and thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.